Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is Tuesday, okay? Which means it's one of the best times of the week because I'm here with my good friend, Wayne Breezy. We just had a crazy week together. Wayne, I think you made it home kind of okay. How are you?
I'm here. I made it home, later than what I expected. Shout out to JetBlue for getting me home safely.
Oh,
and shout out for that airline credit too that's sitting in my account. So Oh yeah, bro. I don't play around when it comes to airplanes, man. You know what? Twitter is a mother sucker, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's something else, man. And so, okay, here's what we got today. We're going to be focusing on how to fix the 49ers issues. Obviously, there's issues galore, but there's a lot of optimism. And, Wayne and I, we spoke briefly right before we went live, and we literally said two of the same things. One, that was probably one of the worst quarterback performances we've ever seen in our life. But two, there's so much to be excited about and hopeful for the future. And so we're going to kind of bounce back and forth. We're going to kind of talk a little bit about the weekend, which was incredible. Hanging out with Navarro Bowman, man. The amount of people that came out to the 49ers Rush road trip Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had Eric Davis who threw an impromptu party Friday with Eric Davis, which was awesome. Navarro Bowman Saturday. Incredible experience Sunday before the game and after the game. The game was rough, though.
You forgot to name the two most important people on Sunday.
I think you're right.
It was the John and Wayne show. Let me tell you something. Sunday was popping, and we had a whole crew walk on over a 25-minute walk to Empower Field. It was amazing, except for the outcome of the game. But on the way to the game, everything was fine.
It was a great weekend, very memorable. And, I think one of the overall arching themes is, so many great content creators, amazing people. Shout out to Vicky. She's the best ever. Shout out to James. Took care of us all weekend. It was fun hanging out with him. Kilted Niner. What's up, man? Troy, got to hang out with Troy. I see you in the chat, man. That was fun. It's building those relationships and creating an environment where people want to be positive, enjoy their fan experience, and party together. Shout out to the Juan Salas family came out. They were a blast, man. Love Juan. Love his family. Absolutely awesome. Oh, look at Juan's on a plane right now. It's still in the chat, man. Love this.
What plane gives you that good Wi-Fi? Because I'm going to start flying.
Now, let's jump into the game, Wayne. Okay, so I'm going to do my best. Let's volleyball back this thing between positive and negative. Okay, that way we don't, because it's easy to dump. It's easy to kind of pile on and suppress. I just finished the complete offensive breakdown, first half, second half of the game, and I wanted to do that first because I didn't want to feel gross for a long time. I wanted to finish on the defense, which was so immaculate, right? So let's start there. Offensively as a whole, and let's get this out of the way. This isn't going to be a tear down Jimmy show. That's not what this is, but we have to be accurate with what happened. What would you say about Jimmy Garoppolo's performance, Wayne, sorry.
I forgot to do my grades on my show because I got so sidetracked, but I'm not going to give him a grade. I'll talk about his performance. I mean, it was, I think it was less than subpar. It was almost to the point to where at the beginning, you were like, okay, Jimmy's hitting some throws. He's finding himself. He's going to get into a rhythm. And then he got into a rhythm on the second drive. It was probably one of the best rhythms we've seen all season long, being in this short 3-week season, right? And so they went, 6 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. Even though, if you go back and watch that play, John, I didn't see it when we were at the game. I saw the play at the game, but I didn't see how that became a touchdown.
It was illegal.
That was an illegal block by Deebo Samuel. The refs just didn't call it. Therefore, it's just the offense it's Jimmy Garoppolo is what you're asking me about. I thought his performance was subpar, and I thought he just did not have what it took to will his team to a victory in a low scoring game. And for me, and I know that I felt like I got all my negativity out. I'm feeling very optimistic because I like the matchup and Jimmy playing the Rams. He has something to go off of. I'm 6-1 against Shaw Suckers. Let's go. Like he has that. So there's my optimism. But back to this game, Jimmy just didn't look good. And when you watch the film, and I know you break down the film better than anyone, and I'm still learning under you, but when I'm watching the film, I'm like, dang, he missed some throws. Like, dang, Jim, he was right. You looked at him, Jim. You said, yo, I'm gonna throw you the ball. No, I'm not. Double coverage. Jim.
I counted 11. 11 bad plays / decisions.
I knew I was.
We didn't watch it together.
No.
This is where we're at. 11 bad choices, decisions. Oh, what's up, Tehran? What's up, man?
I got you, Tehran.
We got you after the game. I'm excited about this. One, just excited. This dude's awesome. I'm such a big fan of his.
Yeah, he's a great content creator as well.
He's a good dude. So Wade's going to reach out, and then we will figure out what's going on there, which I'm excited about. Hey, man, let me say this, before we dive in. We keep having amazing human beings reach out whenever we go to these different cities. Hey, we want to help with. Hey, we want to help with. That's what we want. That is exactly what we are trying to create. We set up an awesome tailgate for the Miami game, which I'm super excited about. Linking up with some people, it's going to be absolutely incredible. We've got stuff going on in Atlanta, Charlotte, every single away game. So if there's something that you can provide to the community, man, hit us up. That's what we're about. This ain't about us. It's about the faithful, and that's what keeps driving everything we're doing. Now, the video came out of Jimmy Garoppolo and the lip sync and all that kind of stuff, which it looks like, could be wrong. He says, damn, you call some sorry ass plays.
That's exactly what he said.
That's what it looked like he said. And the funny thing is, the play that he said that about, there was a wide open receiver that he did not throw it to.
Right.
But anyway, that's okay.
I do want to give credit to Brooks Anderson II. His handle is at BNA Music 88. He was the one that put this video out, and I'm hoping he goes viral with this video.
I retweeted it.
Yep. And so
I'm trying to get him out there. And so now, okay, because again, not going to be a pile on Jimmy's show. This is the last thing I'm going to say about it. My biggest issue with Jimmy Garoppolo isn't necessarily the lack of plays or misplays or any of those things, or even stepping out of the end zone, which, again, if you want to go through the film, I got every single play up on our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast. Every single offense, defensive, special teams play for the past 3 years. They're all there. You get them as soon as you sign up. And also, we do have a Zoom hangout tomorrow at 5 p.m. With 49ers Cutback. So if you want to hang out, you want to air your grievances, we got that opportunity for you. Get it off your chest. But he's not taking responsibility.
That's it. But you know what, John? He never has. I no longer expect him to. So why are we getting all riled up about a person that's going to come up there at that podium, look sharp, look nice, and say, we, like he from Paris?
But then you got the 22-year-old kid got up there and told you seven straight plays that he made mistakes on.
Not even trying.
It was all on him.
Not even trying to start that argument today.
It's just different. And I don't expect Jimmy to change at all on the field or off the field. We know who Jimmy is, and that's a positive and negative thing, which this is where I want to go to next. But I will say this. My least favorite trait with people, and I don't even think it goes this far, like this victim mentality, which I don't think he has, but not taking responsibility drives me insane, which, let's go to a positive. Kyle did not call a good game.
No.
He did not call a good game, but after the game, he literally laid out his mistakes. He shouldn't have called that play. Shouldn't have done this. Here's why. And so I'm hoping through this whole salty Jimmy, Kyle, whatever, and I get it, it's going to be rough for a while, but if we could get Kyle Shanahan to step back his stubbornness a little bit and learn a little bit, and here we go, Wayne, because you were right, I was wrong here. We're sitting and we're watching the game. Holding call on 3rd and 7. Kyle Shanahan declines it, lets them kick a 55-yard field goal. And I was like, before the kick, I was like, 55-yard field goal. I'm cool with that. And the guy in front of us, you remember the Broncos fan, who was awesome dad, by the way. He was just such a cool
you
dad
missed
with his
it when
son.
his son was dancing to DMX, bro.
Yeah,
He
it was
went
cool.
to the bathroom. It was so cool.
Shout out to the Broncos fans. Actually, pretty cool fan.
They were really
they were cool.
A1.
But the dad turns around right before the kick and goes, remember, it's mile high. And then the kicker made it by like 15 yards. Like it would have been good for 70. Then, and I was wrong. You were right. Kyle was wrong. Kyle changed his decision later that game. So I'm taking a huge positive. Kyle is learning, adapting, and admitting mistakes. We haven't really seen that.
I don't think he's adapting. I ain't giving him that yet.
But he didn't take the penalty in the second half. That was almost the exact same situation. He took the penalty the second time.
You're right. But I just don't think he's still adapted yet. On certain situations, I think he still struggles with adaptation because of his stubbornness or his narcissism or whatever it is you want to call it. I think that's I'm not saying he didn't change on that one particular situation, but I just like the fact that Kyle was accountable and he held himself accountable. And for everybody out there, if you don't like this coach, then something's wrong with you. Do we get are upset and angry with him? Yes. Do we agree with all his play calls? Yes. I mean, no. But this is what I mean. Kyle sat there and held himself accountable and took the blame for his coaches, for his players, and didn't throw anyone under the bus. Now, coaches aren't necessarily going to throw you under the bus, and this is why you don't hear him talking trash about like Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I'm confused because I felt like someone made an inference to where Kyle kind of threw Trey under the bus. Did you ever hear that? Because I don't remember that.
There were a couple that were kind of like, okay, that's weird. Okay. But
that's what I
play
thought.
That's interesting to me. And I don't have this clip. Sorry, with all the travel, I didn't get to do the clips. So I apologize about that. And Juan's traveling right now still. He had family in Colorado, so he was spending time there. So sorry about that. But for the safety play, Kyle said that was my fault. I shouldn't have called that play because there was an unblocked defender. I went back and watched the play. Guess what? There was not an unblocked defender.
Now he took that because he didn't want Jimmy to be thrown under the bus. I'm telling you.
That's different. That's different.
This is why it wasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. That play in the end zone, he was under center and he play action. There's a play action pass. Who does play action pass in the end zone?
Yeah, it's a 7-step drop. And Kyle criticized himself for that. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like that play call at all. And again, I went back counting and I just kept a score sheet here. And so, okay, was it Kyle's fault? Was it Jimmy's fault? I got 11 negatives on Jimmy. I got 3 on Kyle play calls. There were 3 plays that I were just like that bad play call. 2 of those were around Jalen Moore, and one of them was on the safety. So, I can't
even fault him for the Jalen Moore bad play calls, bro, because Jalen Moore.
That was
not ready.
It was some of the worst. He only played 7 plays, got Jimmy hit twice, and
Colton McKivitz came in right away.
Colton McKivitz looked good. Okay, so let's transition.
Yeah.
Let's transition. Yeah. Let's talk about the positives. Okay, we're balancing. This show's about balance, right? Thanos, perfectly balanced as everything should be. Which we watched for a little bit this week.
Oh my gosh, we did. I fell asleep. But I woke up during the snap. Tell him like it is, John.
Yeah, we were like going through shows on Friday after we both got to Denver, and so we just put it on whatever Endgame was on TV. And Wayne falls asleep, which is crazy to me. And then he's like, "Dude, I gotta watch the snap. I gotta watch the snap.
Yo, it's like my clock woke up right before the snap. I was like, "This is the only part I wanted to see."
That's it. Now, so balance. Okay, Trent Williams' injury is awful. The best offensive player, maybe the best player on the 49ers team, period, is out. And that was just a freak play. And what's even crazier about that, Jake Brendel has been bad. Not good. He's been bad. That was Jake Brendel's best play of his entire NFL career.
Really?
He pancaked a dude. Sad news is, pancaked him into the back of Trent Williams. Freak play. He's got the high ankle sprain. Jalen Moore comes in, awful, terrible. Like cut worthy. Like I would not be surprised if Jalen Moore is cut this week. That's how bad he was in 7 plays. But silver lining, balance. Colton McKivitz was great. Not good. Colton McKivitz was great at left tackle.
Yeah, and so the good news is you're getting Daniel Brunskill back possibly this week, right? And now and Colton McKivitz has played his best game against the Los Angeles Rams. He go
Yep.
back to week 17.
Yep.
He was one of the
no Von Miller now.
You get what I'm saying? And so if he played well when they had Vaughn, how well do you think he's going to play without a Vaughn? And so if you get Daniel Brunskill back as well, I don't even think Daniel Brunskill needs to start. I think Kyle should stick with his offensive line situation. Aaron Banks, Spencer Burford at the guards, and then Mike McGlinchey at your right, and then McKivitz, and use Brunskill as just your swing. God forbid Brindle goes down. Now you got yourself a backup center. God forbid Colton McKivitz struggles. Now he can play tackle. He can play guard. So
see, I disagree with you.
Okay. You want to start him at left tackle?
No. I want McKivitz at left tackle. Yeah, that's happening.
Oh, you want the guards to change?
No. I want Brindle out, and I want Brunskill at center.
Oh, dang. I wasn't expecting that, Jay.
That's what I'm telling you right now. I don't want Brindle playing anymore. I think that he can't be worse than quality.
Brunskill, bro. Brunskill was bad at center.
So rotate series. Allow it to play out. Allow it to play out. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like rotating series, bro, with Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What are they going to do? Fumble a snap? What's the worst that could happen? Because that just happened. It just happened. And that was not on Jimmy. That was not on Jimmy.
Nah.
Not on Jimmy.
You rewatched it?
You rewatch it, and what happened when Kyle even said the same thing.
Yeah,
Brindle went on the wrong snap count. It should have been a false start because all the guards and tackles went, and Jimmy started going out. That was supposed to be a Jordan Mason play, and the ball got snapped late. So Jimmy was pulling out, which I wish I didn't say that phrase. But anyway, he was leaving early and the ball was snapped late. That took away Jordan Mason's series because that was the play after the 7-yard toss to Jordan Mason. And it looked like the second play was going to go to Jordan Mason again, but that was the fumbled snap, killed that drive right at the 50. That's on Jake Brindle. That was not on Jimmy Garoppolo. My personal opinion. Kyle also added that again, but you go back and I slowed down the film and you could see everybody went. Brindle hesitated, then snapped, and it was just late.
So the refs cheated is what you're saying.
Nah, it was a bang, but also the week before, Jake Brindle snapped it into his butt and Ross Dwelly had to get it on the 2, took a touchdown off the board. We had the block kick. Like that's back-to-back games that you've had turnovers because of Jake Brindle.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man.
But you were saying we don't know, but how much does that attest to? Jake has been rocking with Trey Lance his whole career. Well, since he's been in San Francisco.
Right.
And then you get Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's just a different feel, possibly. I'm not throwing him no slack here. Can't turn the ball over. I don't care who you are. But it could be that. So what they needed to do after the game, instead of Jimmy walking around smiling at everybody, they bring that butt here. And let's go over some snaps exchanges.
But again, we've said this, Jimmy ain't going to change. And I personally don't have a problem with the happy-go-lucky. I believe in you be who you are. Again, I was down after the game.
I'm confused then, John, because in that video clip, if that being who he wasn't smiling on that clip. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, are you this picture perfect, always smiling guy? Or is there some real grit inside of you to where you get angry? And if so, let that out. I think.
Ooh, I'm excited about what you're about to say.
If Jimmy Garoppolo showed a different emotion other than the smile, some type of grit, some type of some type of come on, man, some type of get y'all together, some type of Peyton Manning cussing Jeff Saturday out, that type of stuff, I guarantee you, the whole fan base will be on that cat side. I guarantee. I can guarantee it.
And right now, the only saltiness we've seen has been directed straight to Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
Not himself at all.
Exactly.
And so that's interesting. I like what you're saying there. I like what you're saying there. Now, stay off Twitter. Your life will greatly improve. There you go, David. Speaking facts over there. Let me ask this. Let's throw it up in the chat. Who should start at center? Should it be Brindle this week or should it be Daniel Brunskill? Throw in who should start at center because this is something that's interesting. I could probably go into YouTube and do this while we're doing this live. I'll try to set that up. So let's go with, I'm going to ask you this, Wayne. This is going to go to you. Tell me a positive that we can focus on, something you're optimistic about.
Oh, cool. I know the offensive line is going to be missing their best key piece going into this game. But we beat them without him. So I just want to put that out there. So there's optimism there. So we've beaten the Rams without Trent Williams. Just want to make it clear. Want to make sure y'all understand that. But here's how we beat them. We ran the ball. So and I don't care if they stack 8 in the box. I think Kyle Shanahan can figure out how to add that extension to the run game. You know what we don't see a lot anymore? Remember early Jimmy with the quick screens? And I'm not talking about the throws all the way to the sideline. I'm talking about, yes. Oh, what'd I say? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Slick 68. Brunskill owns Donald, his best games.
But not at center.
Yeah,
so let's
that's
put
true.
the context in there. If you want Brunskill to play, he needs to be at the guard or the tackle, because Donald ain't lining up over no center.
I love it, man. That's awesome. Right now it's 82% Brunskill, by the way.
I love it.
So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on that. But Mike Mosley. First off, Mike's incredible. And he's got alliteration in his name, which means he's a superhero, obviously.
I love it.
He says Brunskill, but only if he's 100% back. Just because Brunskill's practicing for the first time this week doesn't mean he's 100% back. Thank you. And I'm with you. If he's not, we're not going to get a C, right? We're not going to get a C.
Can I ask Mike this question? It's football season, and when are players ever at 100%?
Yeah. Hamstring's rough coming back from.
It is 100%. No pun intended. But I'm just saying, like, I think if he's 80% or more, I think he should play. If he's 50% or less than 80, you might want to think about it, or just keep him as that reserve piece.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and another positive. Let's double up on the positives. 49ers win this game. They're in first place. Alone in the NFC West. You have to provide context with the NFC in general is down, right? We're like barely out of the playoffs right now with a 1-2 record. I think we're the 9th seed. Like 7th seed gets in, right? Like we got to calm down. And as much as we were hard on Jimmy earlier, Jimmy's going to have great games. We know that's good. Jimmy is who Jimmy is.
That Jimmy's going to be Jimmy.
Jimmy, that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing sometimes. We know there's going to be 2 to 3 stinker games. That's okay. It's just who he is. But we also know there's going to be 2 to 3 really efficient games. And the best news is all of those have been against the Rams. Almost all of them.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's why there's my optimism, right? You got a guy who's confident in defeating a team. You got a coach who's confident in defeating a coach.
Yeah.
My only concern, and not to go negative, is there any discourse between Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo? Because that is the only thing that will prevent this team from winning. So if Kyle Shanahan needs to kind of, like you said it earlier, just remove the stubborn hat, trust your quarterback, and let him go out there and lead his team to a victory, then we'll win. But if Kyle Shanahan is stuck on certain things, this got to do this got to do that, you need to do this, do that, I can see it being another situation where the 49ers will have the lead, 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and end up losing it.
CJ Gray. Coach Cruz says number 1 goal, win the division. Coach Cruz, he's a coach, he knows what it is. That goal is still completely intact. We're 1-0 in the division. That's huge. Now you get to play the Rams this week. I want to say shout out to CJ Gray. I like this. He says John Chapman had 11 bad plays for Jimmy. I told Wayne I counted 10, and Wayne counted 10. When we are in agreement, that should tell you something. And I think I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that completely. So all of the goals of this team are still intact by a lot.
100%.
Like it's fine. You know what's crazy? We haven't mentioned special teams or defense yet, which are glowing positives. And we're going to get to that real quick after this quick word from our sponsor. You know football, and you pick winners all the time, so why not get paid for them at MyBookie? best single game spreads, money lines, parlays, teasers, multiple. You put it all together, increase your payouts however it is you want to go bet. They've got individual game lines, stats, who makes playoffs, who doesn't. Now, what's even better about it, low cost entry fees on over $500,000 to be won. Make it so you don't have to be a pro gambler to have fun. And that's what's awesome. You can bet a little bit. I'm an entertainment guy. I don't put a whole bunch on there, but getting started is easy. You just head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code 49ERS on your first deposit. They're going to double it all the way up, $1 for $1, up to $1,000 on your first deposit. So again, use our promo code 49ERS, double it all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie is a proven sportsbook that makes it simple to bet and win. We've used them for over 5 years now. So make this your winning season exclusively at MyBookie. Real quick, before we jump to offense and defense, I just got a text from one of my favorite people. He's BC, one of the best chapter presidents, and there's so many great chapters, and like, again, we're not working together. I don't get a pity from this, but he just texted me. They're throwing a party for the Monday Night Football game upcoming if you live in Los Angeles. And again, he just shares his flyer. No working relationship whatsoever. He's just good people. Man, if you're in Los Angeles and you want to watch the game with 49ers fans, man, head over there, Rocket Sports Lounge, catch the game live. Doors open at 4 this upcoming Monday. And if you're a chapter president or you're a chapter that's having a get-together, reach out to me. I will publicize it for free. Our goal, and we say this all the time, Wayne, we want to get people together. It's about the community. Allow us to be the mouthpiece to get the word out there. So if you're a chapter president or whatever, man, we want to help. I don't want any strings attached. That's not what this is. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. Sorry, messing up the flow of the show.
I love it.
Now, Wayne, here we go. Talk to me about 49ers special teams and help me understand the last 5 years to this year and the difference we've seen in 3 games.
I think Mitch Wisnowski is on something that I think he had one weird year and he must have hurt or something, because he was been pretty consistent. I mean, his ability to get that ball not just inside the 20. I think he had one touchback the last game. And even that could have not possibly been a touchback had they got down there and got that ball.
Samuel Womack lost his job, but excelled in special teams. Him and Demo flipped because Demo was the gunner on all those plays in weeks 1 and week 2, but now he's starting nickel. Womack took that spot.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
It's crazy rotation because, and here's what's funny. Now that you mentioned Samuel Womack's name, because I asked you about that at the game, and we were trying to locate him on the field, and we found him, on the sideline or whatever. Then we saw him on special teams. John, do you know that fumble in the fourth quarter? That was Samuel Womack's play. He had 2 snaps on defense. Two. He had a 98-point-something grade from PFF because his first snap was a fumble. Wow,
that can count.
Kid's got football in him, man. He's got a football mind. But no, the special teams is like night and day, right? You're getting good punt coverage. You're getting good punting. You're getting good kicking. I know Robbie Gould, he missed one in this game. Did he miss a field goal in this game?
No.
But
no, they missed one. Broncos did.
Broncos missed the field goal. But you got Robbie Gould kicking. I guarantee you we could have got that ball to a 56-yarder field goal attempt. We would have won that game. I just felt like Robbie Gould's on another level this year. He's probably eating his Wheaties and he's just kicking stronger. And he just seems like he just wants to get it done. And then the return game, we're finally starting to get some return yards from Ray McCloud, something that we really haven't seen. And it's starting to come together now. We got turnovers in the last game. Remember the fumble and then Ross Dwelly picked it up. They had the muff punt. Now Ray did have the muff joint in this game, and it kind of screwed up field position. But overall, to me, the special teams has been like night and day.
It's incredible. And I want to say this too. I've not been a Mitch guy. He's been incredible. He had 3 inside the 20, like you talked about. They were just good. And, again, whenever I was watching the second half of the offensive film today, like the film just starts with the drive. So you don't see what happened to why the 49ers got the ball where they did, but it was 3 straight possessions to start the second half where they were at the 40 or better.
Right.
And they got 3 points out of those 3 drives. That was it.
And
I mean, it's 100% like the game is 3 parts: offense, defense, special teams.
correct.
Now, I think special teams for both teams were incredible. Actually, Mitch Wisnowski was great. Their punter was better. He had 6 punts inside the 20.
Well, I mean,
So
he punted more.
he punted 10 times. We punted 7. So, but still, like he had twice as many inside the 20. Their punter was great. Mitch was great. And I'm not trying to take away from either one of them. But I think special teams was a little bit of a wash. Our defense dominated. Our offense got dominated. And the turnovers, 0 for 3 on turnovers and a safety, it's hard to win that one.
But this is my issues with Jimmy Garoppolo, because as bad as Russell Wilson was, he was terrible.
Yeah.
He was so bad in that game that the
Yeah.
fans from Denver booed him for 55 minutes. Every time they went 3 and out, boo! They were mad, right?
I don't know where the fans that were booing were after the game, because they acted like they won the Super Bowl after the game.
Oh my God, did they celebrate? They
Yeah.
had the fanfare, they had the band playing outside. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I brought that up because Russell found a way to win that game. Yes, we gifted him 5 points. We gifted their team
Yeah.
5 points. That was a gift. But Russell still found a way. And that's the difference, in my opinion. I'm not comparing Jimmy to Russell. I'm just comparing Jimmy to better quarterbacks. Like those good quarterbacks, those elite quarterbacks, they will find ways. And we need Jimmy to get into that mindset.
I
And
think probably one of the best measuring sticks, not always, but in this game, is QBR. Okay, so it's a 0 to 100 scale. 50 is average
painful.
quarterback play. 100 is perfect. 0 is awful. Okay, Russell Wilson was a 32.9. Not good, right? That's awful. Jimmy was a 14.
That's worse than
And I think that's accurate for both. Like Russell Wilson was awful, but he made a couple plays. Jimmy G was awful. He didn't deliver in those clutch moments, right? Which we've seen him do in the past against the Rams. I'm going to keep going back to that against the Rams. Hoping that comes true again Monday night. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I think you nailed it there. I just think that's right. But special teams overall, good. Very, very positive. Very positive.
very.
Tehran says, like deja vu, feel like I was having these conversations last year about the 49ers issues over the same thing. Yeah, I mean, 49ers were 2-4, 3-5. Made it to the NFC Championship. It's a year, guys. It's a year. It's not as easy. We're 1-2. You win this week, you're in first place. Context. I know it feels rough. It feels rough.
It feels rough because of the way we lost both games. So the first game against the Bears, even though the offense couldn't move the ball at some point, like even though and you can chalk it up to the weather, you can chalk it to whatever, the offense did get stagnant. We only put up 10 points. But it could have been enough had the defense not get like 9 penalties.
Yeah.
And so you're like, dang, we beat ourselves, right? And then in the second game, they find a way to gel. Jimmy, it's like riding a bike. We go out here, we do this, we do that, boom. And they really wanted that one. And then they go on the road again to Denver, and they another 10 points. And it was just like, remember, John, at the game, I was like, man, they got the 5 points. I'm like, John, I don't know. I don't think
you were the whole time,
because the offense is just not in sync.
And then that fumble that they almost got that you talked about, Womack, that was the chance because the defense was going to have to gift it to the offense.
There it is.
And Russell Wilson recovered it. Again, if we're diametrically opposing these quarterbacks, fumble, Jimmy doesn't get it. Not that it's on him, but then there's a fumble, and not that it's on Russell Wilson, but he goes and he recovers the fumble. Like it's just there. It always comes down to a few different things. Now, did Jimmy Garoppolo make Jeff Wilson Jr. fumble? No. So it's not just on Jimmy. I'm not saying that, but like, here's the problem. If I criticize Jimmy, which I criticize Trey, I criticize everybody. Right. That's what happens while you go through film. But as soon as I criticize somebody, I start getting these messages talking about how I'm so negative and like, you're supposed to be, the positive guy. That I am a positive guy.
No,
but
you're a positive guy. You're
there's
definitely
60 plays.
right.
They're not all good. I
Well,
just told you there were 11 bad ones.
people have to learn how to
Yeah, you got
uh
to take both.
receive constructive it's constructive criticism, right? It's like we're trying to figure out what happened from what we see from the context and what's going on.
Right.
You get the context once you start breaking down the film. There's no way you're getting context watching the game. And breaking down film and watching film isn't for everyone. So if you find a person that you like John Chapman, trust me, stick with him. You definitely want to be under his method because he has an intricate way of breaking down the film. There are a bunch of people out there, but if you find one you really like, stick with him, right?
Speaking of staying under, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. How do I get that hat?
Hey, so listen, you can go to www.residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy. Now, this hat doesn't come with the pin. That's for my man. But you can get the hat right there. And then they got the new hats out. They got the corduroy joints for the winter time. Listen, they got some good stuff right with that SF on it. So make sure you go to residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy and you can save on your purchase. Oh, also they got a 50% off sale going on right now.
I like it. Now, just an update from earlier, the poll that we put up on YouTube, who should start at center this week? 72% Brunskill, 28 Brindle. You can scroll up in the chat if you're watching live on YouTube and vote on this. I'm probably going to need to put that up on Twitter too, just to see how that goes. But yeah, go get that hat, man. You know, you wear that SF hat, the residency one, you're going to get compliments everywhere you go.
Yeah.
It's everybody's, where'd you get that hat? Where'd you get that hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, objective is not toxic. Thank you, Tara. I love that, man. Dome always bringing it. All right, so let's talk defense. We haven't even touched defense yet, and I apologize for that because
I got concerns about the defense, and I know you're probably like, "What?"
Okay, let's keep balance. Okay, go with your concerns, and let's stay with it.
I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy here.
Oh no,
but my concerns with the defense is like, when does it's gonna wear out? If there's no balance, it's gonna eventually wear itself thin. When your defense is playing the way that they're playing right now, like 11 men on every ball, and fast and furious and all that type of stuff, a few things can happen. Now, we're hoping that they get good rotation and depth comes into play and all that type of stuff. But let's keep it a buck. This is football, and injuries can happen the more you're out there doing these things. And so I need the defense to figure out a way. My only concern is for them to find a way to stay like as healthy, as fresh, as on point. Because don't forget, like, we're not even talking about this game. We lost Aziz Al-Shaair for about 6 to 8 weeks to an MCL sprain. Just on a bang play. These are, in my opinion, these are those freak injuries that we're talking about, right? It's not like injuries are intentional. It's just that I'm not saying it couldn't happen at a different time. I'm just saying usually when
injuries
you're out
happen
there for so long, you're just giving yourselves more chance. It's the same simple fact as people saying, why you keep running Trey Lance up the middle, in power right between tackle. Like, why do you keep running in between those guys? It's the same difference. The more you do it, at some point, it's going to give out. Let's just hope that our defense finds a way to stay strong, stay healthy, stay quick, stay fast, stay alert, and play their style of football. But Jesus, give them a break, and that's going to have to come from the offense by them points.
Yes. Now, okay, well, let's stick with the idea of the injuries, right? So Eric Armstead doesn't play. Kevin Givens came in. Awesome, right?
Hassan
Jimmy
Ridgeway
Ward's out.
Yeah,
Hassan Ridgeway. Yeah, I can't give that guy props enough. Then you have Jimmy Ward, who hasn't even played yet. Tayshaun Gibson, you're getting starting level safety play from a guy you got off the street a week before the season started. Aziz goes down. DFF played wonderful in mop-up duty. And on top of that, guess what? We got reinforcements coming soon. Jimmy Ward's coming back here in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Curtis Robinson. I don't know if they might bring him back if Aziz is going to be out missing time.
Yeah, because you're going to put one of those guys on.
Either that or you're going to promote McCrary Ball.
McCrary Ball,
yeah. And Jason Verrett. He's been ready. He's coming out. Now, we thought nickel was going to be an issue. Now we've got two good nickels because Demo played very well. I thought he was all over the place.
I think he only gave up one play. Like, Not for me. I know PFF grades a certain way, but when I look at the nickelback, it's not about them giving up the passes because they're supposed to give up the passes.
Right.
Like it's almost impossible. Like you got a guy just straight slanting full speed, and you don't even know if he's gonna slant. So you got to so the nickel. So that they play a little off, and then they get there and close out and make the tackles. I think it was one play he must have missed the tackle or something like that. But other than
Look
that,
at this comment. We got a Broncos fan in the chat. Shout out to Nick, man. Your fan base. I just want to be honest. Denver
I thought they
fans
were
were
great.
awesome. A
I
lot
thought
of great conversations, some trash talk, but respectful. We had Denver fans come to our tailgates and party
Sure.
with us,
They
which was
sure did.
cool. He says, let's go back to his comment real quick. He says, y'all's defense truly stopped us. I just think we had a less risky offense, luckier in terms of picking up the fumbles. That's the difference of the game. It was 11-10. Well said, Nick, and appreciate you, man, and your team, and best of luck to you guys moving forward. I hate Russell Wilson, but I really did enjoy Denver. The city was incredible.
Beautiful.
The city was incredible, man.
Beautiful city.
It was the first time I ever went to Denver, and I didn't go skiing, so it felt weird. But I had a good time downtown. I had a good time. Joel asked this from Sweden. What's up, Joel? He said, I asked Breezy this time ago, but can both of you please elaborate on why we have an offensive mind in Kyle Shanahan, yet the defense is always keeping us relative? That is a good question. And I would argue, man, I was talking to my good friend Benny. Shout out Benny Mendez. I don't think Kyle's ever gotten what he wanted yet. I think this was supposed to be the year with Trey, because you remember Kyle Shanahan coming in whenever Jimmy Garoppolo came in. That wasn't a Kyle decision. That was a John Lynch decision, right? And whenever Kyle found out we were getting Jimmy, the first thing he said was, man, this means we're not going to get Kirk Cousins, right?
Right.
So, I mean, CJ Beathard, third round pick, whatever. But again, the whole plan was to get Kirk Cousins. Well, finally got his guy, Trey Lance, went up and got him. And yes, Kyle wanted Trey Lance. If you're one of those people that's like, Kyle was forced to draft somebody because of Twitter, then I probably nothing I say is going to make sense to you. But he didn't get you. We got to see one game, and he ran them and was trying to give them training wheels and whatever else and protect them. We haven't seen it. Now, we have seen the 49ers have a top 3 offense under Kyle Shanahan, but you look at the defense right now, you're right. We're second best defense as far as yards allowed. We're third best defense as far as points allowed. Defense has carried this team the past 3 years. I do agree with that.
But you want your defense to be the staple of your team, because that's what's going to win you the championship. I know it's cliche, but that's what it is. But you want your offense to supplement the defense, to put points on the board, make it a little bit more easier for your defense to go out there and do what they do. Like Fred Warner is probably my favorite player. And I don't know what is with me and these linebackers, but Fred might even be more of a favorite, no disrespect, than Patrick Willis. And it's not from play, not just from the play. It's by his attitude. And if you listen to what he said, yeah, man, we left some plays out there. I left some plays out there.
Yeah, he took more responsibility than the quarterback did.
And he played elite. He is the quarterback. That's the way I put Fred Warner at quarterback. See what happened. But no, that's my point. And for a young man to go out there and say that, I was like, oh man, the defense is going to put the team on their back. Understand what I'm saying? Think Baltimore, think Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, think that era. This defense is going to put this team on their back.
Yeah.
Once the defense figures out how to play 60 minutes of football, that's crazy sounding. I know 60 minutes. That's what Fred is saying.
Yeah. And I'll say this. Let's go back. Why is the defense better? You have a head coach that understands the big scheme. The first pick is almost always a defensive player. And so the draft pick capital, especially premium draft pick capital with first round picks, and financially, you look at the salary cap between offense and defense, the money's on the defensive side. And this has always been, again, back to Kyle Shanahan. When he was at Houston and was just the offensive coordinator, they had the number 2 overall pick, I think, that year, or maybe number 1. It was number 1. And the pick was down between 2 players, Reggie Bush or Mario Williams. And Charlie Casserly was the GM, and I love listening to him tell the story. They went around to every single coach, and they said, you pick. Who do you want? You want Reggie Bush or do you want Mario Williams? And they went pick by pick by pick. And again, you had Kyle Shanahan was the OC, and he said Mario Williams. Kyle Shanahan's somebody that gets the defense wins championships. And so whenever you invest all that capital on Nick Bosa, Javon Kinlaw, Drake Jackson with your first pick, D Ford trading for, all these guys, Eric Armstead wasn't under his tenure, but they did re-sign him at that point.
They did.
It makes sense why the defense is as good as it is. And you have to give credit. I haven't said his name yet. DeMeco Ryans is unbelievable and will be a head coad next year. He's going to be a head coach.
It's I'm happy for him. I'm going to be happy for, his endeavors and where it is he chooses to be a head coach. But it's going to be a sad day for the 49ers. And I think DeMeco Ryans is a better defensive coordinator than Robert Saleh.
Yeah, I agree. He adjusts way better. His
adjustments are better.
And I mean,
and quicker.
It's incredible, man. And so that's the complementary way in which this team's been built. The defense is good. It's really, really good. And this was a good offense. Clayton, we got a question real quick. You want to come in? No, he says, no, my bad. And so I think I don't know. I think I really like where this defense is. I really like where this special teams is. And I think the defense can get better because Drake Jackson's good. He's not there yet.
Speaking of Drake Jackson, Johnny got his first career sack.
Incredible. If he's quick, man.
How many times, John, did you see the NASCAR package off the top of your head?
Man,
I think
a lot. His snaps were up.
Yes.
His snaps were up.
I could say what his snaps are. Keep talking. But yes.
All right, he's pulling it up. Oh, I got signed out of my PFF account.
Don't you hate when it does that, bro?
Why do you gotta do that whenever I'm live, man?
You know what I mean?
Come on, man. That ain't right. Drake Jackson got 22 snaps. 16 were pass rush, 16 were rush snaps. He got 2 pressures, 1 sack, 1 quarterback hit, and 1 solo stop. So positive. Not a lot of negative plays there. I haven't done the defensive film yet. But again, there's just so much there. And, Kamiko Toure, he didn't play. He had a personal issue. He was one of the inactives. So they allowed him to step away from it. I would say just shout out to him. Hopefully everything's okay. We never know the situations, but for a player to walk away from a team when they're healthy like that, it's got to be huge. So just want to send love and support his way, man. I hope everything's cool there. Now, Dre Greenlaw.
Best player on the field.
He's the best player on the field. Dre Greenlaw.
Funny how this comes full circle, though.
Yep.
And that does not mean Talanoa Hufanga was the worst player on the field.
No. He wasn't. He did have some mistakes, though. We haven't seen mistakes yet this season.
He had a couple of missed tackles.
Right. He had 2 missed tackles, which hurt. Did give up 1 catch for like 20+ yards. That hurt. But still making plays, right?
Correct. He's getting
if this is the worst game that Talanoa's have had, but he's still making plays. He's so damn good, man.
Well, the thing was, he gave up the big 20-yard play, and I said to you, it was like this is my only concern about him.
Yeah.
But then right on the next 2 plays, he's been in the backfield for a 6-yard tackle for loss. So it's like you just that's his balance. I'll give up a big play in coverage, but they're not running on us. Like, you get what I'm saying? They're not running. As long as because I don't know what his cheat code is. I don't know if he has the offensive coordinator's mic in his headset, but he knows when a play is a run, and he sells out on it, and he is in the back.
No hesitation.
That's a gift. That
is a gift. Mike, I love this comment. He says the offense only getting 25 minutes while defense is out there for almost 35 minutes at 5,000 feet. You go up those stairs, you feel it now. I was feeling it in Denver. Ain't gonna lie. But a big reason why that was the case was because you had the fumbled snap on the second play of a drive, and then you converted 0 out of 9 third downs. There was no sustained drives. None. No sustained drives. And so that hurt. Nick, he says 2 defensive powerhouses with Jimmy G's first week back in a while. Yeah, I think he says we could beat the Rams. Yeah, I think we can too. I can't believe Vegas has us favored. That's crazy to me. But we were favored the last week. We were favored against Chicago too. So
I think we've been favored in all 4 weeks.
Yeah. It's a testament to, kind of how good this defense is. And they should have won every single game. 49ers should be 3-0 right now. Like,
Easily.
easily. You
Easily.
just got to get out of your own way.
That's
You got to
it.
get out of your own way.
That's it. That's
And
it.
the fact that they're 3 turnovers and a safety, 0 for 9 to start the game on third down, and you lost by 1 point on the road to Russell Wilson.
I tell you what, if they wouldn't have gave up that safety, they wouldn't have lost by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So is 10 points enough to win a game? No. But the way the 49ers defense plays, it could be, because this defense can hold teams. Oh my gosh, the Denver Broncos were coming into this game. They were like third in rushing offense, third or fifth, one of the
Didn't do
two.
anything.
They did nothing. And the only reason why they were gashing us up, John, was because delayed plays on the run game. Like, that's what it was. Our guys were over pursuing. They were trying to get to that backfield as quickly as possible. And their running backs were waiting, and they were taking off for a little yards down. But that got adjusted, that got fixed, and that got negated like after a while. So 49ers can stop the run. That's good news. That's good news. Y'all want optimism? 49ers can stop the run even without Eric Armstead. 2 years ago or a year ago, when Javon
One of him went out, it was done. It was done.
Eric was on the outside. They had to put him on the inside in order to stop the run. So that's good news.
Yeah, there's just so many positives. Charles Omenihu just keeps making plays all over the place.
Kerry Hyder with a sack. He got his first sack this season.
I talked trash on him too. You remember?
Yes, I did.
You remember? I did. I was like, man, why is Hyder out there to start this drive?
Because they were in the oh my gosh, they were in the Bumbo Jumbo package. What did you call it?
Bravo. And I was like, why is he out there right now? We just had a long break for the defense. Get Nick Bosa out there. And then he made a sack that play, which was awesome. And now snap count, I think, is important. Nick Bosa had 57 out of 74 snaps, which is a lot. That's a lot for a defensive lineman. I was wrong. So to put that into perspective, I'm looking at other D linemen that got snaps. Kinlaw got 42. Drake Jackson got 22. Kerry Hyder got 20. Kevin Givens 35. What?
Nick wasn't trying to come off the field at all.
No, he wants to play. And that's another thing. The Bravo group that they do, that's the backup group, the B group. That's where that comes from, right? Last year, and again, one of the reasons why I like D'Amico so much more, he's not doing a full Bravo group. He's leaving one starter out there with 3 backups. Yeah. And so it's not just 4 straight backups. A lot of times that's Nick Bosa. Sometimes it's Kinlaw. Sometimes it's Ebukam. But you're balancing so it's not such a giant step back and going in waves, which I like.
Yeah.
I like.
And I see Collie says he saw plays where we got gashed up the middle. That's because that the Denver Broncos adjusted. They were using the speed of the 49ers, and they were allowing it to come in fast, and they would just wait a little bit, and then boom, they hit you with the gash up the middle. The 49ers ended up adjusting to it, but they were getting us. So you're right.
I mean, they averaged 3.1 yards per rush. We averaged 4.6. We didn't run the ball more. They kept running. And again, okay, let's talk about ballots and go kind of full circle. If you want to know my biggest issue with Kyle Shanahan and play calling, it has nothing to do with the plays that were called. It's that he gives up on the run game in close games. I don't like that. He feels that, it seems that, this is just my own interpretation, that when the game is getting late, he just goes throw happy when you don't have to. You don't have to. And I know they were stacked. They had 6-man stacked lines, not box. They had 6 men on the line. I get that. But when you're averaging 4.6 yards per rush, you got to keep running the ball. Jordan Mason should have had 5 carries this game. And part of that was on the snap back to Brindle that killed his drive when he was out there. But he should have been back out there. You got to get somebody besides Jeff Wilson Jr. running the ball. They were keying on Debo. If Debo was in the backfield, they were shooting a safety. And one of the big plays to Ayuk early was because the safety shot when Debo was in the backfield and Ayuk window was open. Anyway, I digress. I don't want to go back to that one. We were on there for too long. All right, Wade, as we draw this to a close, and Clayton, the man behind the scenes, crushing it as always. If there's any more questions that we haven't got to, let's get those pulled up. Any more positives that you want to jump to or that come to mind with the 49ers moving forward, whether that's on the Broncos game or this season kind of moving forward?
I think the positives are that you have a coach that's starting to recognize that he has flaws, and that can turn into something positive because he's the only person that can say you know what? Let me dial this back a little bit. Let me put them in this particular. Let me get them ready or prepared for this type of situation. And you heard Kyle Shanahan said, like, yo, we're not just gonna go work. We went 1 for 10 or 1 for 11 on third downs. We're not gonna just go work on third down.
1
We're
for
gonna
10.
work on totality and offense. We're gonna focus on these formations, these plays, this is that, whatever. We're not just gonna zone in on one particular thing. So Kyle Shanahan gets that. They're gonna have to find ways to figure it out. I'm gonna say this. If you guys are giving Jimmy the excuse that he didn't, practice, he didn't do this on the offseason, okay, fine. This is a team coming up that Jimmy Garoppolo knows inside and out. And if he knows them inside and out, I expect Jimmy Garoppolo to come out here and do exactly what it is that he needs to do. So my expectations is for Jimmy to be Jimmy, but also for Jimmy to get this win because Jimmy beats the Rams.
Yeah. So, Daryl, I love this comment. He says, thanks for all you guys do. Question, will Jimmy get better with practice? I mean, literally what you just said. In the sense of not having an off season of live throwing like the preseason games, I expect Jimmy to be better. Yes, he can't be worse.
Can't get any worse.
But we knew this. That's what I keep trying to tell people. These aren't new criticisms. There's nothing new that we know about Jimmy now that we didn't last week. He's going to have a couple bad games. He's going to have some very good games. And I expect those to come. And I really hope for his sake and the Niners' sake, it happens this week. If the Niners and the Rams both play to their capabilities, the 49ers are going to win this game.
Exactly.
They're going to win this game.
Exactly. It might be 2017, whatever. But like he's saying, if we play like we're supposed to, guys, the 2 losses, we beat ourselves. Even in this game, the Spencer Burford offsides or holds, whatever they were, those were crucial down killers. Like we were 1st and 10. You get a false start. Now you're 1st and 15, and now you're trying to make up yards. Or 2nd and 10. Now it's 2nd and 15. Like those were bad. Spencer Burford had a bad game.
Yeah,
I didn't think he had a really good game.
Also, I'll say this, stick with the negatives. I thought it was Mike McGlinchey's worst game of his career. I think it was his worst game of his career.
The first play.
It was bad. I think he was on the ground, I think like 3 out of 4 plays in a row at one point, just on all fours. Like it was, and I'm not an anti-Mike guy. Mike usually has 60 good plays and 2 bad plays. I think this game was 30 good plays, some mad plays, and like 7 or 8 bad plays. He was bad. And so Sean, shout out to Sean, he says, who's the answer at right tackle if McGlinchey takes a step backwards? I think it's McKivitz. But you got to stay with McGlinchey right now, and he's going to bounce back. He's overcoming the injury all off season, then had the setback. Like I'm not worried about McGlinchey long term. He's a starting level right tackle. McKivitz would be that guy, but now you have to use him on left tackle. Jalen Moore can't play. No, maybe Daniel Brunskill goes there.
No, give me Nick Zakiel. Like bring him up. Let him play tackle. I give me somebody that knows how to play the position.
Jalen Moore does not need to play anymore.
Huh?
Yeah. Jalen Moore doesn't need to play anymore at tackle ever again.
No.
Ever again. Who's the next DC if he's in-house? I think it's Vic Fangio.
Yeah, I think Fangio's there. I think he's taking that, that consultation year.
He's been to the 49ers practice a handful of times so far. Yeah. I think it's
kind of clear. And he never wanted to leave in the first base, but Trent Baalke, never mind.
Yeah.
This keep moving.
Yeah, no, we good. All right. Nick says we can all agree Bosa tripped Wilson, right? I don't know what you're talking about. I got to go back through the film and watch it. But yeah, Bosa even had a little grin. It makes up for all the plays he didn't get called holding. But yeah, it was a trip play.
Oh man, they held a few set of times in this game.
Yeah, I haven't done the defensive film yet. But the offensive first half is out right now on Patreon. I haven't uploaded the film. I've recorded the second half offensive breakdown. That's going to be up tonight, probably around 7-ish, my guess. So anyway, we got that. Anyway, so that's going to do it. Oh, what's up? Should we play Blake Hansen center? No, I don't want Blake Hansen there personally. I would much rather have, what's up, CG? I want Brunskill center. That's what I want. Anything else?
Can't be worse than Brindle.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's been bad.
Jimmy might be more comfortable with Brunskill too.
Yeah, we'll see there. Anything else? Parting words, Wayne, before we take off, my friend?
Nah, man, you guys are amazing as usual. Shout out to everybody that was with us in Denver, man. We appreciate you. We love you. Shout out to everybody that's going to be with us in North Carolina and Atlanta. Those games are coming up very shortly. Back to back. All right, so you're gonna get John.
I'm staying on the East Coast. I'm doing the Shanahan
Hey.
thing. I got some family, so I'm gonna be staying out there for a week plus instead of flying back and forth. It's just too expensive.
It doesn't
So I'm
make
just gonna get a
sense.
crummy hotel and record a bunch of shows. That's the plan.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, get that out of here. But Lon, it's been real. Thank you guys for tuning in. John, you're amazing. And just being with you is even more amazing. So I can't wait to see you on the next.
We got big days coming, man.
Yes.
It's crazy. The parties are getting bigger and bigger.
Oh my gosh, John, can you just take a step back on your microphone? I mean, on your camera.
Sorry. My bad.
Keep moving back. Keep going. I need to see the goddamn shirt, John.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
What's up, baby? I got my Mortal Kombat, the Sub-Zero
greatest rivalry of all time. Sub-Zero.
Right. Get over here.
Get over here. I'm sorry.
Back forward, A. Oh, yeah. What's up?
I'm still tripping from the Chicago, but we went to an arcade in Chicago and we played video games. Like, I'm still tripping.
It was a good time. All right, guys. I want to say thank you to Clayton, the man behind the scenes, crushing it as always. And the show's producer, 49ers George 365, and my man James W. Kilted Niner, the best there is. Wayne, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to our future events. And until next time, this is important this week. Stay strong, faithful.